Hello and welcome to another episode of the Big Screen Bros podcast. So today we got Chaos here. Say hi, Chaos.
Hola, señor. ¿Cómo está?
Nice, your Spanish is coming along well. And we have Ash here. Say hello. Why is everybody speaking Spanish? And we have. Sí, say that means yes, you can. Okay. You've been watching Dora, haven't you?
Lo siento.
So yeah, today we watch a documentary about a musician called Daniel Johnston. The movie is called The Bro. Have some respect on Daniel, right? Okay. The documentary is called The Devil and Daniel Johnston. This was my choice because these two normies are not gonna pick a movie as good as this because they have inferior taste, obviously.
So I think before we start, you should actually mention who or what Daniel, what was his name is? Dan Schneider.
So if you have been familiar with this podcast and you know how I am, Daniel was kind of like me, a complete retard.
Okay, you gotta bleep him out.
No, but it's a story about this musician, Daniel Johnston, and it's a story about...
Well, you say musician.
His upbringing, his life.
A lot of people would use that word for him.
Bro, did you not see the documentary? Did you not see how much his stupid drawings were worth and the myth behind all the stuff that he did? A lot of people know Daniel Johnston. Okay? You just don't...
Look, I've heard of him today, and I wasn't impressed. But continue, sorry.
Yeah, I would say he's classified as outsider music in the sense that it's not polished music. He didn't make polished music at all. He did a couple of studio albums, which they show in the documentary that he was signed. He was signed on a mental institution, which goes to tell you how crazy his story is.
I mean, mental institutions don't mean you're crazy.
Well, how many artists do you know that were signed on a mental institution?
A lot.
Yeah, name one.
Kanye
That's not Daniel Johnston.
Kanye West?
No, Kanye got crazy after he got signed. Okay? But anyway, I did hear his studio albums and they were not good. In comparison,
I wouldn't go that far. I thought they were pretty fantastic. There was this one song he wrote about this girl named Laura who he fell in love with like 20 years prior. It's a beautiful song. I thought it was pretty good. But you know, you can shit on him if you want. That's you.
No, the thing is about Daniel Johnston is I got a bunch of his tapes. Those tapes that we saw, that they had the cartoon drawings and all them, I got a bunch of them. And I listen, and the thing is the songs that he made songs in his basement or in this garage place with his little piano. And it's the song.
That one song, Cheeseburger in Paradise. Cheeseburger and that's alright. I love that song.
He never mentioned a burger. He mentioned Mountain Dew and the devil, but he never said anything about a burger.
Look, I'm pretty sure he did. You haven't listened to all of his albums, right?
No, the thing is, like I was saying, he made a bunch of homemade tapes, and those homemade tapes, like they show in the documentary, he spread them around, and he kind of became like a local...
You know, you would expect him to at least have one song of McDonald's, but he never did.
No, you know what? That's funny, Ash. I never heard him sing a song about McDonald's, even though he worked.
He's like an STD.
So yeah, no. Regarding his music, what I would say about his music is, and the appeal of it is that Daniel Johnston is the.
Before you do that, appeal. Continue. That was
the appeal he has for people like me, which I really like him, is that this guy. Ricans? No. I mean, as a musician myself, this guy is all about passion, and it's all about drive, and it's all about creating art. He's all about expressing himself whenever he can. He's very pure in that sense. You know what I mean?
So, how can you actually gauge that? Because a lot of people express themselves in different ways.
Because I will put it like this. It will be like somebody that you know or somebody that you know in your life that's really talented. He's not famous or anything, but he gives you the aura and the vibes that very passionate about something, and he's pouring his art, his heart out to it.
So
And
narcissism.
no, he's pouring his heart out to his expression, his art. And even though it doesn't have that mass appeal that's gonna be super great or whatever, sounds amazing,
Or quality.
you can hear the passion
See,
and
that,
behind it.
see, the problem is you can hear that from anybody. You can hear that
No,
passionate
not
thing
really.
from so many
Not
people.
really.
Yes,
Not
you
really.
can. Yes,
No,
you can.
no.
I think you're just stuck on this dude D.
No, dude, I'm not the only one.
I realize that. I told you this is like the room. It's a cult. Most cults follow stupid things like this. No offense.
no,
They're cult
that's
followers.
he's not the only. There's another band called the Shags. There's a band of like women, an all girl group,
Oh, I
and they,
love them. I actually have heard them.
bro, you don't know anything about outsider music, alright, bro? Um,
Oh, well.
they're very naive.
You're not the only one who listens to music, okay?
They don't play on beat. They're very offbeat actually, but they still have the same passion as Daniel Johnston. So the thing with artists like him is that they don't need this refined production for you to see their potential. Maybe to you guys, yeah, because you guys are used to consuming music in a way that's very
You
polished.
obviously don't listen to a lot of music if you're saying that.
Bro, you are so stupid. How are you gonna
I
question me?
love.
I'm not like the musician. I love it.
Because I disagree with you, and I'm saying the truth, I'm stupid.
Yeah, you are stupid, and for a lot of other reasons.
So, have you not listened to Blueface?
Who?
Oh my. See? Oh my. You don't even know who Blueface is?
Oh, tell me, I don't even know the Blue Man Group.
Blueface.
Is he a rapper?
Ash, if I put a clip in the chat, can we have him listen to it, and then we'll jump backward. We'll jump forward.
Is he a rapper?
Okay.
Let me go find it. Like you talk about music so much, and you don't even know music, bro.
You don't even know who Daniel Johnston was.
I do. He's this terrible singer.
You know him now because you saw the movie.
I don't even know him.
You just said you did. Daniel Johnston's story. The documentary shows his early life as a baby. It shows his family, which was very religious. It shows that even as a young kid, he did artistic things. He would record home movies.
You say
He would,
autistic or artistic?
Artistic, bro.
Actually.
Artistic. He said
Oh,
artistic.
okay.
Just because I'm in here doesn't mean everything is autistic, okay?
It works. It works. Both ways work. Okay. But he used to do home videos, and his earliest videos were like him recording his mom yelling at him, which is something that I think I would have done as a kid, because as a kid I had
Bro, if
like
I
a-
ever did that, I would be first of all beaten up and then kicked out of the house. And then they would be like,
Really?
take your recording and keep it with you.
It's not even true.
gang.
I'm not about to put your whole life out there for the two people interested in Daniel Johnston, and one of them's in here to see. But that's not true, man. They loved you.
But yeah, he used to record like his mom. I related to that because
Why was he recording his mother though? That's kind of weird.
he's trying. 'Cause I think he started recording it because he found it interesting.
His mother was very not interesting. Clearly, the dad beat her. We could tell from the interviews.
No, he didn't.
Every time she talked, every time he moved while she was talking, she was just like,
You're like, I'm afraid of this man right beside me, so I'm not gonna say much.
yeah,
No, she would. The recordings would show like her screaming at Daniel with religious beliefs, but like I said in the documentary, Daniel would provoke her too to get those kind of recordings. It's not like he was a saint and she was just
That's
yelling
why
at
he
him for
had
no
the
reason.
devil in him.
I mean, is there ever a good reason to yell at someone though?
Yes, of course. Sometimes you have to yell to your
Bro,
kids,
don't
bro.
you yell at people?
Dude,
Chaos.
I have 5 children. I don't yell at them. And they are.
What about your co-workers?
Did you guys do anything creative,
No.
like something like that, like stuff that Daniel did?
Of course I
You
did.
think drawing pictures is creative?
Yeah, it's a creative
Bro,
outlet.
every kid does that. What the
Literally that's not creative. You're just pulling strings out your own booty hole, boy.
No. I mean, I would agree that almost every kid draws, but not every kid sticks to it. Some people, for most kids,
Literally, every
it's just a
person
face.
sticks to drawing because
Don't be
that's
that.
what writing is. Writing is drawing. You're drawing
Yeah.
the letters out.
Yeah,
Just because your mind can't see that, that tells how you didn't stick to drawing. You are
okay, I'm gonna talk to Ash because he's the rational one.
Oh,
Ash,
because my opinion is different. Okay.
okay, Ash, but you used to draw as a kid, right?
I still draw, yeah.
Okay, you still draw, so you're not a good example. Okay, Ash, you used to draw, okay, right?
Oh, you
Bro,
want my opinion now?
but you know, I'm a good example because
No, bro, I'm stuck with you. Okay, so
Bro,
you used to draw as a kid.
I
okay?
am a good example because
So,
I like at work they had like a big screen.
Hold on.
Bro, find this guy and shoot him. Like I don't know who the fuck that guy is.
Why are you talking during the car? Okay, go now. Go. Now start over.
No,
Okay,
I'm a
okay,
good
you
example
used to
because
draw-
you know
you-
they had like a TV where like you can like do stuff, and what I used to do, I used to draw stuff on it, and everybody used to think who the fuck drew it, and then they would clear it, and then I'll sneakishly draw again.
Bro, they don't even speak English. What are you talking about?
Who?
You're saying they spoke English around you?
Bro, what did you hear?
He's talking out his booty.
Bro, what did you hear? What the hell? I said at work.
He said they'd be like, who drew it?
Yeah, because they didn't see who the hell drew it.
They have cameras. Of course they saw. They
No.
just don't care.
What you mean at work now? At your current workplace?
Yeah, current workplace, bro. They removed it because of me because I kept drawing shit and they could not catch me.
They literally have cameras in everywhere but the bathroom.
This is
So
what's like
they know it's you.
it's like the doodle bandit. Everybody in the office is like, who's drawing these? I don't know, but he's really
Yeah, bro,
good.
it was so hilarious. Everybody was like, who
Who
keeps
is it?
drawing this? And every time I just turn the head around, it's there and I have just erased it. I need to catch this guy. And they were trying to catch me, but they could not.
Have they ever looked down? I know you're kind of short, so they can't see you.
Bro, and then that girl that you like, she wants to draw and she's like, who is this man? He's after my own heart. Who could it be? Okay. Okay, anyway, the point is like you used to draw things as a kid, right?
So,
Yeah.
you mean besides my name?
That's not drawing, stupid, that's writing.
It is drawing. What's the difference between writing and drawing? Nothing.
Are you stupid?
But
Are
your
you
mind-
fucking stupid, Chaos?
Your
Are
mind
you
is so
retarded?
small,
What the
you can't see the difference. It's not my fault. But besides writing my name, paragraphs and paragraphs of art, I did draw a lot. Yes.
Okay, do you still draw
They
now?
called me a young Vincent Van Gogh. I
I
did just draw.
I
I
that.
used pencils, crayons, markers, water paint. I did a few sculptings as a child. Like I was very talented.
Okay, do you still draw now?
Not like that.
Exactly, that was my whole point. That
Because
not
Yeah,
I found
because now
something
you're
that
a grown up, and if you
drawing
draw like
secret.
that, people would be like, "What's
Because-
wrong with his head?"
Because I found something else that brought me passion.
Funko Pop?
No.
Talking to
drawing.
IG girls?
No. Digital drawing. You know, you can draw in on apps on your phone, your tablet. You can draw in game.
Okay, sure,
Physical
drawing of
drawing
yours.
isn't the same thing anymore.
Sure, drawing.
I decided to take my stuff digitally.
Sure, drawing.
Like Minecraft was so blew my mind. I played it for 3 years with one of my friends before I met y'all, and the creativity when I was drawing, I'd make these sculptures and draw them with the pieces digitally. And he was very creative too. Like he would make if you ever played Halo, he was a map maker. He would draw these designs, these maze maps, like so intricate, the details. Like you don't understand. Digital art is the future.
okay. I'm assuming that this is all true. How old were you?
During which one?
During the
Digital?
Minecraft phase where you were doing creative stuff.
I was older than 20.
Okay. Okay, so this was like more than 10 years ago or like 9 years ago.
Less than 10 years.
Okay. I agree that when I first started Minecraft, I enjoyed the creative mode and everything.
No, I
And
didn't play creative mode because I'm not a coward. I would hunt for my pieces.
okay, that even better, bro.
I play with
Okay.
the monsters out there, all the difficulty, and I would go underground. I would battle and mine. Like life ain't creativity shouldn't be easy. I don't let the monster stop me from being creative.
Yeah, look at him preaching now. Okay, this is Daniel Johnston that inspired you, bro. I'm telling you, that guy was a genius. He
I've never
inspired
heard of
me.
it. Look, they throw genius around a lot. I've met people in Mensa that are idiots. You may continue.
So yeah, when you see his early life, you can see that this kid is trying to use the creative outlets that he has at the time, which is recording and doing home movies. Personally, I never my family was poor, so asking my mom for a camera, that was a no go. But if I had like wealthy parents and if I had like a camera, I probably would have done home movies too as a kid, just to try it out.
So you would have copied him.
No, because at that point I wouldn't even know who he was. Okay, I was a kid too. But anyway, he starts to become like this art kid, and when he reaches high school, he kind of, I would say high school was the most normal years of his life when he was a kid and when he was in high school. He didn't show any problems yet that will later on develop. So this time seems like the happiest time for him, or his most normal time. So he got into high school and he was kind of popular.
I mean,
As
I
a
don't like the way you said that. Normal.
What do you mean?
Like, what's normal, bro? Like, I may not agree with anything he's ever done in his life, but that doesn't mean he wasn't normal. He seemed like a pretty normal people surrounded by people who didn't understand him.
Yeah, that's happened to him a lot at first. That his parents didn't really support his art, and but I think
it was trash. They shouldn't have. But, yeah.
okay, I think they were mostly mad about that he was just focusing on art and neglecting like his chores and all that, and just being disobedient. But at the same time, they started attacking his art, and he probably felt like a kid that nobody understand what he's doing.
Doesn't every kid feel like that?
Yeah, I did feel like that when I was a kid.
I didn't.
Okay.
Oh, because chaos is different, bro. Why do you apply what every kid
Bro,
does?
dude, I honestly, I gotta give it to him because I was lured by his empathy, and he just completely rejected me after.
No, but because I just wanted to make an example. A lot of people do feel like that, but not once did I did because I honestly did not care about other people's opinions about what I'm doing. I was just doing my own thing.
I think neither did Daniel. He just kept doing it. You know what I mean? And eventually he got to like high school, and he was pretty popular then. He met his friend there. He started drawing a bunch of eyeballs. Then he got to part. Yeah, I think. What, sorry?
This part was so creepy.
This what?
This part was so creepy.
What do you mean? Why do you think it was creepy?
He was just so creepy. He said, he saw the eyeballs, so he started doing it, and he took it to a whole nother level. Like like that, like Hannibal Lecter type drawings. like when you think of like a mass murderer, they'd be drawing like people decapitated, missing limbs. That's what he was drawing.
Well, there's a lot of normal people that are attracted to that. Would you say that a person that makes a horror film is disturbed because he likes making horror films?
No, that's not real.
Well, that's exactly what he was doing. He was doing horror. Maybe that was somewhat based on horror. It doesn't really make you. It could make you a disturbed person. It could just make you a person that likes horror.
But what's the difference between a disturbed person and a person? A word.
Well, I would say almost everybody is a little bit disturbed, so it's really hard to draw a distinction. I would
I'm
say
not.
the distinction becomes when you become harmful to yourself and to others.
But does that make you disturbed?
Yes.
How? But how so? Because like obviously Daniel wasn't disturbed unless he was like on drugs, but he wasn't even disturbed then. But
Oh, not back then, yeah, right. In his case, I don't think when he was in high school he was disturbed.
he
Uh,
seemed, he honestly seemed like Ash.
Fuck you.
no, it's not just Sasha. I relate to him a bunch too. Like,
Honestly, he seems nothing like you. No offense, but look, I love your songs, but his songs they touched me in a different level.
okay, now you like him. First you hated him, now you like him.
No, I don't like him at all. But a good song's a good song. Like I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but when I hear the song "Delicate," my whole world, everything shuts down, and I gotta just groove to it. Turbo on the west side, where you at? When they back, you know, like a good song will do that to you. And
Okay,
he had one of those.
no, he has a couple. The thing in the movie, they kind of flow by really fast. But if you listen to like his discography, he has a bunch of good songs. He has a bunch of trash one too. Don't get me wrong; they're not all good, but
I
some of
mean,
them are pretty good.
look, tax season's next year. Maybe if I get some money, I'll think about buying his discography. Okay.
Don't even, bro. It's not worth it. You can just get it
Look,
for free.
I don't know why you're just dumping on him like this. Okay.
No, I'm not dumping
A
on
lot of
him.
people love this dude. I don't know why you're just dumping on a whole group of fans of his. He's like you don't hear like the passion when he sings. Like you can hear it in him. Like it may not be like what people think about as good quality.
Oh my God!
Like
Now
you can hear like
now
the passion
that's my
and the
viewpoint.
soul when he
Who are
sings.
you as a person? You're not a person. You're a comedian. You're an amalgamation
Don't.
of
Look,
people.
I just don't like the
You're
way
not who
you're
you are.
dumping. You're just dumping on his stuff.
No, no, I'm,
I don't like the dude at all. Like
no,
rest
I'm
in
gonna
peace.
say,
I don't like him, but I'm not
I'm,
gonna just dump on all his music.
I'm gonna say during that early era when he was still like a teen, he has a song about this. The song is called "The Story of an Artist," and they show it. He made a video for it. And like, listen up, and I'll tell a story about an artist growing old. That's a really good song, and he made that song when he was really young. Uh, so he was a musician even in high school. I would say he wasn't at his peak yet, but he clearly was influenced by folk artists like Bob Dylan, and melodically he was influenced by the Beatles a lot. So the thing about being a Bob Dylan fan is that Bob Dylan has really good lyrics, and he has really folky lyrics, and Daniel Johnston kind of emulated that. So Daniel Johnston, even though his music sounded a little bit like out of tune, I think he had good lyrics from the beginning.
I
So
disagree.
okay. So
Pull up a song of his that you think that with.
well, for one, it's like the one that true love will find you in
In
the
the
end.
end, you'll
Uh,
find out just who was your friend.
is your friend? Yeah, and they're like folky songs. Honestly, they're
Don't be
not
sad,
pop hits.
I
Like,
know you will, but
uh,
don't give up.
Bro, I don't even listen to pop like that. I love folk songs. This ain't folky.
well, it is. And he
What
was.
is a folk song? Tell me,
This
KO.
sounds like a freaking Mountain Dew commercial.
Tell me what it is.
Well, anyway, but then he went to college, and then when college happened, that's when they started showing signs of like maybe there's something wrong with him. And he went
There
to.
was never anything wrong with him. He
I
just
think
had,
that no, because it shows that he went to a college that was far away
bro,
from his home,
he
and
that's, he look when you are in a religious household and he pretty never went out even when he was a kid. That's his first chance of independence.
right.
Of course, it's gonna take a while to get acclimated to everything.
See, that was the problem in the first college that he couldn't acclimate, and he became to show like nervous signs of like something's wrong with him, like he was saying. And then he transferred over to a local college, which is where he met his best friend again, and where he met Laura, his
Oh my god.
obsession. where he
So
met
if
Tyson
you
for the rest of his
if
life.
you've seen the show You, this was pretty much that, except he doesn't look anything like Joe Goldberg. He looked good back then. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, teenager, he didn't look that bad.
then he talked.
He had a big high
Say you
voice.
love me. Say you love me. And she's doing this awkward, scared laugh, like, oh, okay. I love you, Daniel Johnston. And then he'd be like, I was very startled by the footage. Honestly, I felt uncomfortable. Like, I know you relate to him a lot, but
Well,
I was very uncomfortable.
at that point, I would say that maybe he was a little bit obsessed with her, but it wasn't dangerous or anything. It never got dangerous, you know. He never stalked her.
Well, we know why he didn't.
What?
And look, I think one thing we got to remember at the end of this movie was like Laura Murray, her boyfriend was like what was he?
A mortician.
Mortician, yeah, studying like the dead body people, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she's like, they're divorced now. They got divorced 2 months ago. Hey, Laura, what you doing? Like, this whole thing was just a shout out to her.
His whole life was a shout out to Laura.
And he even stated many times he wrote thousands of songs about her. The mom was like, I wish your daddy had written songs like that about me, but he just hit me. Like, it was a very weird thing that was happening.
Yeah, but he never got with Laura in college, and
I'm glad. Like, she looks.
I think during this time he was being moved a lot around homes. Like he lived with his parents, he lived with his brother, and nobody could really handle him because apparently he just didn't like to do chores, or he didn't like to do anything that wasn't art. So it was just like
You see, this is the whole thing we were talking about earlier. Like subjective, objective when it comes to art. Chores is art. Like any real artist.
Thing you've said so far.
Any real artist would
yourself, bro.
Any real artist would be able to see that, okay? Like, I don't understand the confusion. Any real artist would be able to see the art of doing a chore. Like, you think a maid does it just because for the money? No, maids don't clean for the money because, look, maids don't get paid that much.
Ash.
Let's be honest.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ash, you had like 10 maids because you were rich, right?
Yeah, that's true. He lived in a marble home as a child.
Did any of your mates ever tell you, I'm not a maid, I'm an artist?
No.
That's because they weren't paid to speak.
That's it, yes.
They're not paid to speak. That's why.
And they were not
they'd be
maids
fired.
because maids
They knew
stay 24/7. They were like domestic helpers, so they would come, do their job, leave.
Practically slavery. Okay.
What the
You know what?
heck?
I just got this idea in my head that maybe in society we need to like divide people up of like, for example,
I feel
when
like this has been a movie and doesn't end well.
hear me out though, okay? Like for example, people that have OCD and have to clean every time, make them the janitors and make them the maids. They're perfect for that kind of job. Don't you agree?
So what would you do with the pay? Because just because you're OCD, you could be a genius too.
You still have to pay them, but they will enjoy it.
How would you do the pay? Because look, how are they gonna be surviving? Because a lot of people love to clean. So how much would they get paid? They all get paid the exact same, and then people are like
normally like what they pay now.
So some cleaners will be making millions, some will be making thousands.
No cleaner is really making millions unless he's hired by like a rich person.
So why would they want to be a cleaner then if they can't make that?
Because they have OCD and they like cleaning everything.
So you're forcing someone with a condition to do this even though they don't want to. They like to clean.
You don't
But
get the whole
they don't
business.
want the money for it. But you're saying it's their job. So that means you're saying that's the only job they can do. They have to clean.
No, I'm saying it would be like a specialist. It would be specialized for that job because
So what
they're for that
about
job.
if I want to clean? I don't have OCD.
Then you're not a cleaner, bro.
So I can't get the job because I'm not cleaner. I'll just simply sue y'all. Your OCD cleaning business is done, and then and this is what it's going to be allowing anyone to do the job now. And guess what? A lot of OCD people will now be losing their job because of your dumb rule. You can't make only a certain group of people qualified for the job. Like this is like you're thinking like you got such an old mindset. Like
No, bro, this is the ideal world. Listen. This is the ideal world I'm creating, and you're not part of it. Honestly,
I'm here.
no, you're not. I would.
Look, this is your multiverse of madness. I'm Doctor Strange. I'm traveling through all of them. I'm there. You can't get
This is
rid of
gonna be
me.
horrible. So I'm really gonna have to cut this. You know what happened to the Jews?
I'm gonna meet the me in that universe, and we're gonna destroy it.
Bro, you know what happened to the Jews?
What juice?
The Jews, like in the gas chambers and all that. You remember what happened to them?
Oh, Jews. I thought you said juice. I was like,
No, Jews. My bad. Remember what happened? to them?
Enunciate.
Oh, what happened to
Jews.
them that they become like Nazis and started killing Muslims, and now they're doing genocide.
Okay, Jesus Christ. Way to get political. Right?
Literally, that's what happened to slaves. A lot of them, we didn't mind being with having masters. We didn't appreciate
Oh my God. Jesus
free.
Kanye, dude.
Look, after 400 years,
After
it's a choice,
200
okay?
years, slavery is a choice. Kanye West.
You know what? No, wait, this is too high. I want to go to the movie, okay? So yeah, during this whole period of Daniel's life, he's being moved from home to home. He lived with his brother. He lived with his sister. He really wanted him. At the same time, he was kind of pursuing his career as a musician. So he was making these tapes and handing out to everybody. Just anybody that, if you met this guy on the street, he would this tape.
Those are the worst people alive. The mixed
I know.
people.
Hey, you want to listen to my mixtape, bro? Yeah.
No, I don't. Yo, it's only $1, bro. Look, I only got $1.25. I can't buy it.
Yeah, I'm saving this to buy. I wanted to buy myself a Snapple. No, but the point is he wasn't selling them. He's just giving them away, and he wasn't really expecting anything out of anybody except to just listen to it. Listen to it, you may like it. All right, bro. That's it. Here's my music, and listen to it. And eventually that.
I'm getting the trash, honestly.
And eventually that got him people to like rally behind them, like some record producers and people. Like that girl that was mentioned, she was in a band, and he gave her his demo. And at first, she didn't even listen to it, and then she did listen to it and liked it. So he gathered like a little group of artists.
Clearly, there's a bunch of bad producers out there.
No, he gathered a little group of artists that really saw the potential in him. And honestly, I get it because when you listen to his tapes, you really do hear some potential in his songs. You can hear it's just a kid and a piano in his room. And the sound quality is awful, very awful. But you can hear the potential, and you can hear the passion in his songs, and his lyrics are pretty good. So anyway, he got us a bit of support. So
you're the same dude that said his music was trash.
No, I'm saying a lot of his music is trash. Some of it is really good.
So he only gave them the good stuff?
No, it depends because there's another band that's like him. It's called Guided by Voices. And what they do is they make a lot of songs. And some of them are really good, and a lot of them are trash, honestly. That's what happens when you make a lot of songs.
You know, most artists just record a bunch of songs, and they only release a certain amount. He just released everything.
Exactly. That's what I mean, exactly. He just released everything. So that's why I'm saying he has a lot of trash songs. But that could be subjective, some songs from him. You might like it, but I might not, so... Anyway, he's starting to build some momentum, I guess, with his career, and his pinnacle at that time was that MTV was recording, they were doing a segment on some other artists and locally this is all happening in Austin, Texas, right?
Yep.
This was the good MTV back in the 90s.
dude, I remember when MTV was like the main source
Bro,
for
it's
like
been
music and cool shit.
such a long time since I heard MTV. Than just the
Right?
name
Yeah.
MTV.
Carson
But
Daly, was Carson Daly there?
yeah, so it was on. Yeah, I remember Carson used to do the daily top 10 videos, or like something live. I don't know what it was called, but he was the host for it for a long time.
Yep.
So yeah, back then in TV, and this is even older in TV than Carson. This is like a previous generation. This is like the 90s, 80s version of MTV, which is like at in the end of the 80s, the late 80s, and the beginning of the 90s, MTV was very into like the alternative rock kind of scene, and eventually became the grunge rock kind of scene when Nirvana became famous, Soundgarden, all those people. That's my generation, and that's what I grew up watching MTV. And Daniel somehow snuck into it just by being this shameless guy that would talk to anybody and would give it their tape. People liked him, and he ended up being on MTV. And they just put him on MTV. And I don't think MTV knew what kind of music he even made. And then he got up there with his little crappy guitar and his broken chords, and he started singing, and people were like, "I guess we're into this." Uh, so he kind of paid off a little bit for him. Uh, and after that, and this is where it starts to become a little like weird. He gets a moped and he abandons his family entirely. He disappears and he joins the circus. He joins the not the circus. What was it called? The carnival. Uh, you guys remember that part?
Yeah, it was Carnival,
Yeah.
and the guy who knocked him out.
Yeah, exactly. That's where his story starts to become a little wild because he just sort of, and I get it because like his none of his parents and family were supporting his heart, right? So he just decided, dude, I'm just gonna get out of here. I'm just gonna get my moped, and he started traveling with the carnies, which is a very weird life decision. It's kind of ballsy to do it. I would never do that. Don't you think it's gonna-
Would you rather be surrounded by a group of people who don't support you at all and tell you to quit doing what makes you happy? Or would you rather take a risk and go out alone and see if you can make it on your own?
Yeah, in his case it makes sense, but I would say it was a ballsy move to do that. You know what I mean?
No.
Okay.
It sounds like he was following his heart, and you just don't know what passion is.
Would you guys ever do something like that? Would you have the courage to just get on your moped, enjoy the carnival?
Personally, I know Ashwood. He's done it before. He was from a third world country. He had maids. He had rich parents. He had everything, and he
What
left
the
that.
hell? Who the
He
hell
come to
told that
America
rich
and
parents?
just survive
That's
on
a
his
lie.
own.
That's
Now-
a sham.
Now he's working for $1 billion company, one of the top people there. Like he went from the top to the bottom, and he's going back up. I know Ash would do it, but me personally, no. I
You
would
know
only
what?
do it if I had a dream, and I've never had a dream in my life.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I
Bro,
think with
wasn't
Ash,
your dream
I would-
to be married?
Look,
What
Ash
happened
is
to-
better than us, bro. I don't know what else to tell you. He better. He followed his dream.
I give him props. I give props to Ash for moving to America and pursuing his I guess, dream. Or even though his dream is not really cool.
He was supposed to be married, an arranged marriage, and he said no. I don't want that. He went
No, I
across
think-
the world.
I think Ash didn't really completely figure out his dream, but his default dream was like, get the fuck out of India. Can you make that happen?
You can leave India, but India's still in you, and he knows that. The pride he shows for his people every day makes me proud, and I'm not even Indian. You make me want to be a better person.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm
Like I
saying,
said, Ash is better than us, because I
No,
wouldn't do it.
no, like I said, it would there's a similarity with like Ash.
Yeah.
There's a similarity with Ash to the United States and Daniel.
There's a lot of similarities, because just like Daniel just be singing random songs about like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Oh, that's really
Ash
Ash.
be doing that too.
I know, that's really Ash.
and you saw how Daniel he had those huge weight fluctuations. Like he was a big baby, then he lost weight. Then when he lost his girl, he got big again. Look, Ash is out. He's lost his weight. He gonna find his girl, but he's not gonna lose her. He's gonna get her. Like
No, but here's the
I,
difference. Here's the difference, though. Ash, I think he studied and he made a smarter move to America. It was something that it took some preparation, right, Ash? A little bit.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, he didn't do it like in a wild way like Daniel and just joined the carnival
what's
out of
wild
nothing.
about that?
Bro, that's kind of crazy. You just
How,
move,
what?
just take your
There's nothing
morning
crazy
people and
about
put your whole life
you.
behind and
Never.
more.
You are so privileged. You don't understand what it's like to have people not believe in you.
Bro, you were the same guy who said you wouldn't do it yourself.
That's because I don't believe in doing something that unless I'm fully committed to it. I'm not committed to music. Why would I do that for music?
He didn't do it for the music. He did it to get
For
out of
art.
that
You're right, for
yes,
art.
environment.
It's an art form. He loved it.
But yeah, but anyway, he joined the Carnies and he traveled with them for a while. And eventually it happened to that story when he was on a porta potty and somebody was banging to get out of the porta potty, like, get out, bro, or whatever. And when he got out, there was a big Carney standing there. And apparently this guy just punched him in the face. And
Well, I think the one thing we got to mention, this is a documentary, which are pretty much 90% lies because it's all we don't get the full insight of the Cardi.
they're not lies, bro. They're really got.
I've never look. The problem with documentaries, it's written with an agenda, and this is all about showing how him in a good life.
No, I would say this is one of the most truthful documentaries that I've ever seen.
He wasn't even in it, was he?
Mike, dude, you are ridiculously stupid today.
Did they ask him?
Whatever. Or stupid today.
Did they interview him?
Who, the Carney?
The Cardi, yes.
No, obviously not.
See, fake.
Okay.
So
So
he probably did something. 'Cause knowing Daniel, after this 2 hours we spent watching him, knowing Daniel, he definitely did something.
no, because at that point he wasn't completely schizo yet. You know what I mean?
He was never schizophrenic.
Okay. Anyway.
Are you a
So-
doctor? I'm sorry, are you a doctor?
Are you?
Yes.
Okay. So at this point he got punched and he ended up in he's still in Oxton, I think, whatever. And he ended up going to a church, and it's surprising because the church took him in and they helped him and they actually got him an apartment. They said.
What's surprising about that? Have you ever been to a church before?
What surprised me is that they got him an apartment. It's not that they helped him, but they're like, dude, can you go to a church and ask for an apartment? And they just gave it to you?
They help you better your life.
They did, that they helped him better his life. Okay, so at this point, I think he gets a manager and he starts living in an apartment by himself.
The man
He gets a manager, he starts doing drugs, he starts doing weed, smoking a lot of weed. He gets them motivated to not
First
do
of
it.
all, weed is barely a drug. Okay, calm down.
Yeah, I know. But the point is that he started doing drugs.
You said he was doing drugs, and you said weed. So I'm just taking that for you. I wouldn't even count weed as a drug, really.
Now, some
There's
people
so many
do a
guys
gateway
who-
drug, which is kind of appropriate.
It is.
But so is drinking. So they're all gateways to like a crazier lifestyle. If you choose if that crazier lifestyle appeals to you, yeah, they are gateway drugs.
I wouldn't say the crazy lifestyle appeals. There's a thing called addiction.
Right. There's that too. So, I guess at this point, right, he's like started doing drugs. He ended up going to a Butthole Surfers concert, which is the guy that was being in
What?
the dentist. Remember the dentist interview?
What were they called? Butthole what?
The Butthole Surfers. They're still called that, and they make really weird music.
I wouldn't call it weird. Okay, you just don't understand quality music.
Well, yeah. So he went to a Butthole Surfer concert, and he did acid there, and apparently he started freaking out. And this moment right here, I would say, is like one of those catalyst moments that kind of changed him forever. When he did acid, it kind of like maybe triggered his schizophrenia to like a whole nother level. Uh, he was probably like a schizophrenic that could handle himself if he wasn't like a familiar
Have you ever met
environment.
a schizophrenic before?
No, no, there's levels to schizophrenia. It's not like every schizophrenic is a beautiful mind where they see people and talk to them.
Well,
Uh,
they do have a beautiful mind.
that's not what. Okay. What I'm saying is there's gotta be levels of like subtlety and degrees to schizophrenics, and I would say that uh, maybe it's not schizophrenic. Maybe like I said, it was diagnosed to be a manic depressive, not really maybe a schizophrenic. I just a manic
Oh,
depressive.
you ever think that the medication they forced them on, which they often do, had bad side effects?
Well, he explains it in the documentary, and as somebody that was put on meds because I was put in a mental institution for a week.
I
Uh,
know. I've met a person who's gone through the same thing, and the problem was the medication was the wrong one.
Bro, I don't even remember the medication they gave me, but I remember the effect that it had on me. And the effect that it had on me, it just made me groggy. Like I said, you're always groggy and you're always low energy because I think it's like a medication they put people that could be dangerous. And so the whole point of the medication is to put you in this very low energy kind of mood, like low battery mode, honestly.
So they gave you horse tranquilizer.
Not really, they're not obviously as strong because horse tranquilizers.
Well, it's
Uh,
legal. Around that time, it was legal. Maybe like a decade after that, it started going illegal. But that was a common thing back then. Mid 70s. Tranks were very common.
So yeah, he did acid at that concert and he started tripping out. And from that moment on, I think he leaned into the to that version of himself where he became he became really religious all of a sudden. And all the upbringing, all the religious upbringing that his parents forced upon him, just kind of exploded in his head, and it made him a fanatic and made him a religious fanatic. Uh, that it just messed with his mind so much because then he started viewing himself. Then he started viewing his drive to fame as something satanic. So he started involving the devil, and so the devil knew that I wanted to be famous, and he approached me and he grabbed me by the hand and all that. You know, his you can say the devil is temptations or like his aspirations to be famous. You know, but it was all triggered by that acid trip, and he kept doing acid, so he just kept going down this hole of like he was spiraling down this hole of like delusional stuff. You know what I mean? And they show,
No, I don't.
bro, come on, they show footage of him where he's at the stage and he's talking about. I started seeing how the mind control, the candy, they control you with Snickers, the Coca Cola, and he just goes on this
But
run
he
like,
didn't mention Mountain Dew, did he?
no, not at this point.
Yeah, he didn't. You wonder why? Because he was faking it.
Oh, if it was all fake, okay, bro.
Bro, people like Mountain Dews. I like
Well,
it.
yeah, at this point, there are other musicians around him, good musicians like Sonic Youth.
Hey, he was a
Uh,
good musician too.
he was. But there were people around him, iconic artists of the 90s that recognized that this kid had talent, but at the same time, he was very hard to handle. You know what I mean? The stuff that he did was very random, I guess. And that made him more popular in the sense that it created like a myth behind him and the stuff that he did. And that's really what made Daniel Johnston popular is the lore behind his life. And then you pair that with the music, and then you kind of get why he became like a cult artist that a lot of people did.
I honestly don't get it.
I get it because when I first watched this film, I didn't even know him as an artist, and what appealed to me was his life story and how crazy it was, and the
No,
decisions that he made,
no.
and what it led to.
You know, I do understand you saying that because I did see. I don't watch documentaries a lot, like I tell y'all, because they're just fake. But I did see this one documentary on a musician, I believe you know him, Rock, right? Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
Bro, I don't
Twenty
know.
thousand hours, 20,000 days on Earth. And I really got to understand Nick Cave, who I'd never heard of before.
Yeah, he's a good artist. He's a praise artist.
And I only watched it because I thought the cover was cool.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I saw this and I really got to see who Nick Cave was and I felt it and the songs they touched me, you know?
Hmm.
I felt nothing like that for this, but you know,
Well, this is a different context. So when we watch movies, we don't take them seriously when we watch it together. We're always talking like above them or whatever.
speak for yourself.
Maybe if you have seen this alone, maybe you would have liked it more. But anyway, I did see it alone, and I remember I saw it on Stars when I had cable on DirecTV. They would show this documentary a lot in Stars, so that's how I came to know of it. But
Ironic,
how is that ironic?
because he's not a star.
Okay. Um. Okay, so at this point, like I'm saying, there's artists around Daniel that recognize he's pretty good and he has something to say, but he's very well to handle. So then I think that's when they show that they put him in a mental hospital. They put him in a mental hospital like three times, honestly. He just went in and out of them. And in the mental hospital, he was diagnosed as a manic depressive. And he does a little rundown of why, like, the manic depressive illness is. And he says, like, manic depressives, when they're really depressive, they're this one they seem the most happiest and most excited. You know what I mean?
Same
They
thing about suicidal people. You can never
yeah,
like
exactly.
the people who commit suicide. You can't tell who's suicidal because they show so many people and they're happy, having fun. And
Yeah,
it's
like
like
for example, Robin Williams was suicidal, and I never really got that from him because he was a comedian. He was always making jokes, but I never
they
knew him.
weren't jokes. They weren't jokes, man.
I never knew him in a personal life, but apparently he was suicidal. But yeah, he explains his condition, and it's interesting. Like I said, manic depressive illness is very contradictory. Uh, he started speaking like he would say like a manic depressive talk constantly.
Did he?
They will be very excited. They will find crazy ways to reward themselves, like put medals on themselves, pens, stuff like that, or maybe buy Funkos. Who knows, right? Uh, yeah, they do a lot of weird stuff like that.
They even
Because
exist till like 2006.
whatever, bro, you missed the point. Okay, the point is that they reward themselves or like glorify themselves with something stupid like that.
So he's a narcissist.
Maybe if he was born in this generation, he would have been a Funko collector like you.
I doubt it because he clearly likes music.
Okay, yeah. So at this point, they show Sonic Youth like babysitting him, which to me was wild because when I saw this documentary, I knew who Sonic Youth was and Butthole Surfers, but I didn't know that all these iconic artists knew Daniel Johnston and that they thought he was good. Even Nirvana, Kurt Cobain started wearing his shirt, and he became famous just of that shout out. You know what I mean? And during this era of Daniel Johnston is where he becomes the craziest, but it's also the era where he makes the best music of his life. And he figured out that for him to be the best performer, to get the best out of him, he had to really lean into the crazy. And this one made him appealing to again because he was super crazy religious at this time. And every song at this point is about the devil or about God. He became really preachy. Uh, he still this time he still wrote love songs to Laura though.
Who he
Um,
hasn't seen in like a decade.
I know, dude. Yeah, it's so weird. But at this point, he's become a little bit more famous now. Like more people like him, more people know of him. He's like a cult artist, like a cult hero
Bro,
locally.
you know what? Every time he was in the mental hospital, he started getting famous. So maybe he should start going there more.
I don't think
Yeah,
you
that's the whole
can.
point. The craziness of his lifestyle, it just added to the lore of Daniel Johnston. You know, it made him more famous. You know what I mean? Um, but at this point, it's what this when he was his worst mentally. You know what I mean? But he was making good art, and he ended up doing an album with Jap Fair, I think it's called. Do you remember the song that I sent you? I did answer with Caroline Ash.
Yeah.
That song is from that album that he recorded with the guy when he was wearing all white and all that stuff.
When he had the white hood on.
He didn't have a white hood on, but I think that's during the time he was singing the Casper song too. Uh, okay, what was the next part? Shit, he got.
I think he died finally.
No, he didn't die. He died in 2009.
2019.
Oh yeah, he kept getting crazier and crazier, and people, the managers around him couldn't handle him. The bands around him couldn't handle him. They're all trying to help him. It's interesting because
Let's be honest here. They're not trying to help. They're trying to
no,
help.
no, no, they are because all the people around him, all the artists and the managers around him, recognize that he's a good performer and he's a good musician. So they try to.
Well, musician, not performer.
No, he was a good performer too. Uh, they all recognize he's good at it, and they're all trying to focus him on his career, but he's acting just too crazy, and he's telling everybody that everybody's possessed by Satan. So he doesn't trust anybody. He became paranoid, and he just started roaming the world again. You know what I mean? And that ended up again landing him in a mental hospital, where he made a Mountain Dew song, which is a banger. Uh, yeah, by this point, everybody's trying to help him, but he's like unhelpable. You know what I mean? And during that mental institution, he recorded a couple of albums with a giant label, like a production. They actually went to a studio. And I
right?
what?
He signed with Diddy, right?
Oh yeah, he signed with Diddy. And I think Diddy molested him, or maybe
That's not
they
funny.
did acted together.
That's not funny. Okay.
Life
Yeah, more stupid.
imitates
bitch.
art.
Uh, so yeah, he recorded a couple of albums, honestly, which I've heard. The thing is, this is weird, dude. His studio albums are worse than his homemade tapes. There was something that was lost in the process. Like his music,
I mean, it's like
is fine, and it lost time.
it's like Adam Sandler. You know, like every time he makes a movie for the theater, it's trash. But his smaller stuff for the streaming services, they're better. It's just the thing, like the more pop. Once you get into an actual place, it's not just your music anymore. It's the whoever signed you.
You're right.
You need
Yeah, I
to
get
do
it.
something a certain way. Like you don't understand music, so you don't get it. But like, it's not just the artist anymore. Once you start signing contracts.
No, that's a good comparison. I would agree that Adam Sandler comparison is a comparison. But what the thing, one other charm about Daniel, he's like, he's endearing like a kid is endearing. Like you saw his drawings, right? They were like kid drawings, and you saw his drawing, you're like, oh, good job, buddy. It looks awesome.
I didn't
He's
mean
got,
that.
he's that kind of endearing. There's something very innocent about him, or very like I
Sounds like
said,
you're talking down to him.
No. It's a nice quality that he has in his music. But the problem is when he went to a studio, that quality was lost and instead was replaced with like heavy production. You know what I mean? Things are very refined, and it lost that innocence that it had, and then that naive thing that it had. You know what I mean? So it wasn't as pure anymore. And you can kind of that's why the studio albums are not really that good. Anyway, from here on out, I think they go into the present day, right? Oh no. Before that, he got into an argument with an old lady.
Yeah,
If you
and
just-
she jumped off the window.
Yeah, that was funny. He got into an argument with an old lady, and the lady just, I think, yelled him from the window or something.
He said,
Daniel
"Don't
went
make
up to her home,
noise. Don't
broke
make
into her
noise." And he
house.
was like, "I'll tell you who's making noise. You demon. I'll get the devils out of you." And she was like, "Oh no."
Yeah, he broke into her house and he smashed her door and to get into it. And the lady was so scared that she had to jump out of the window. An elderly lady. And then he said,
was
well, it was a
lucky.
mental solution,
Bro,
it wasn't
he's
him.
lucky.
It was
Imagine
the
if
demon.
lady had a gun, he would have been dead.
If the lady had a gun, you mean?
Yeah.
True, he would have been dead. No! Are you kidding me? God would have protected him. God was up. Everything Daniel did was because God told him to do it.
Can you please not use my Lord and Savior's name in vain?
Bro, and then, even later on, he's like, after he became like a little bit more famous, he started doing concert tours. He got into an airplane with his dad,
His
which is
dad,
a idea.
who hates him?
No, he doesn't. I guess his parents don't hate him. They're just very traditional parents that didn't
You literally
understand.
said they hated him.
I was being hyperbolic, okay?
What does that even mean?
You look it up,
Exaggeration.
stupid.
He was exaggerating.
Exactly. It's another word for exaggerating.
Oh, okay. Well, I was being hyperbolic when I asked what it means.
You're not using it in the right context. Anyway, the thing is, his dad should have known better than to go with Daniel alone on an airplane. Like, this guy is clearly dangerous. This guy he fought his family during a Christmas reunion or whatever over like an ornament on a tree. You know what I mean? He just fought his uncle. Like, he tackled him to the ground and the uncle said, I broke a rib. Because he was super strong. He had like freak strength. You know what I mean? He probably really is Captain America. But yeah, it was a really bad idea.
Captain America only takes steroids. He doesn't get high or take acid.
But it was a really bad idea for the dad to go along with Daniel on an airplane.
I don't
But
think so.
but they did, and Daniel, while he was up there with his dad, he was reading a Casper comic book, and Daniel just decided, hey, let's just dive the plane, or let's jump out. And his dad's like, oh no, oh no. he's having like one of his moments. He's having a Daniel moment, and Daniel just took over the plane, and eventually the plane, he spiraled down, but at the last minute, his dad was able to recover control of the plane, and they had to crash into like a little forest area.
Well,
And they
obviously, the problem is he doesn't have a license to fly. A pilot's
Is
license.
that like who? What do you mean?
The Daniel.
Of course, Daniel's crazy, dude. Okay,
So how would he crash the plane?
by taking over the controls?
So who was flying the plane?
His dad.
So you're telling me his dad, who's a trained pilot, would allow his son to do that?
He didn't allow him. He was forced to because Daniel overpowered him.
Come on now. I don't think you've ever met a pilot. You could shoot them in the knee and they'll still not give up the flight.
Yeah, bro, this is not the same situation. His dad was old at that time, way older than Daniel, and Daniel.
His dad was like 90 in this thing.
Bro, Daniel has that autistic, like, retard
He's
strength.
not, you can't say
He's
that.
like Shrek. He's like Shrek, bro. Hey, dude, they're really strong, dude. They're actually really strong.
Look, I don't know why you're like grouping him into a category. Like you're saying those people. What?
No, this reminds me. This goes back to my idea where we should place people on what they're good at. Retards should be wrestlers. The WWF should be full of retards with super strength, and it probably would be better, you know, than what it is.
WWF
Bro,
doesn't
do you
exist
know
anymore.
that wrestling needs promos? It's not just fighting. If you're gonna put people like them there, they are not going to give good promos, and it's just going to fail.
Are you kidding me? Don't you tell me you would like a promo of a retard going, no, I'm gonna destroy you. You would love that shit.
We've seen it before.
Yeah.
You think they haven't done that? It's not good.
Bro, what was that guy? You know that big guy?
That's what's it? It's the big guy that's teamed up with Carl Anderson. His
Yeah,
name was Festus though.
yeah, him.
Luke Gallows. Luke Gallows.
I remember Mankind was kind of retarded when he was popping off.
He was literally bipolar.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, mankind was not retarded. That's why he was able to pull it off. Festus, on the other hand, he needed Carl Anderson to do the job.
And the bell.
Yeah, and
Like you can't and don't use the R word. It makes me very uncomfortable.
Jesus Christ.
Don't use my Lord son's name in vain.
bro, even the Lord didn't give a fuck about his son.
That's besides the point. He's still a better dad than Michael Jordan.
That is true. And Jackie Chan.
Very true. And Will Smith, his first kid that no one knows about.
Oh, I only know that he has like Jaden Smith and Willow Smith.
Yeah, he had a kid before that.
Oh my
With his
god.
first wife.
He doesn't even mention that kid anymore. He's like, you are dead to me, kid.
You know, he's there whenever they take like family pictures. He's all the way in the back.
He's the one taking the picture.
He just puts his thumb in it and they edit it out.
That reminds me of his speech after he slapped Chris Rock and he won the award for like that tennis movie, which I want to see actually.
Oh, Trey Smith.
I will never watch that. I don't support that violence. He shouldn't have gotten the award. He should have been thrown out.
No, but
The
speech is like,
rigged, and they knew.
in his speech was like, he was like, I'm a protector. I protect my family and whatever. You like, do what happened to your first kid? We're not talking about him, okay? I protect the family that I have right now.
What about August? Is he part of your family too?
He's like, who?
Trey Smith.
But please don't use the R word. It makes me uncomfortable.
I don't feel comfortable saying it too, but what do we say it like? Mentally handicapped, I guess.
He wasn't that. He was just like you said, he had a mild case of schizophrenia, and he was a drug abuser.
He was a manic depressive, okay, to be more accurate. But anyway, I'm almost wrapping up the movie. Like at this point, he's old. They show him living with his parents.
We still have an hour left.
No. At this point, they showed that he had potential to have a good career, but he was too mentally unstable to really pursue a career. And now he's old, living with his parents, but he still has the drive to keep creating and keep making art, which is why I really like Daniel. He's just he kind of really embodies for me what like an artist wants to be, or like the ideal of an artist. He just wants to create and express himself.
That's literally most people who make music. I'm assuming you're only talking about music. That's literally every musician. No matter how good or bad their stuff is. That's what they do.
Some people, that's why I relate to him, Chaos. That's why I relate to this documentary about him.
You should relate to Jennifer Lopez too. That's what she does.
I related to Jennifer Lopez too, in the sense that she wanted to make music and was very ambitious. I get it.
And she was passionate about it, no matter how bad she was.
I did hear, I think it was Jamie Foxx that was talking about her. And he was kind of implying that she slept her way to the top.
Look, if she slept with Diddy to the top, that would mean she knows about all this stuff that he was doing.
Maybe. Or maybe he just never showed that side of her.
Of course he did. It's Diddy.
Okay. So yeah, at this point, he's an old guy living with his parents. And they show that he's become this kind of cult phenomenon or whatever, cult hero to a lot of people. And even his drawings, his shitty drawings about Captain America, they sell for like thousands of dollars and stuff. So I don't know why he's not richer, or maybe all that money they put in the bank.
I know why he's not rich.
Why?
He's dead.
Okay, dude, Jesus, way to bum me out.
You made me say like it's a lobby. No, because clearly he's still living with his parents because they think he can't control himself. So
that was a good move. That was a good move for him to live with his parents until because he was mentally unstable. Honestly,
I don't think.
And yeah, that's pretty much. What do you want to say, Ash?
I wasn't going to say anything.
You
Okay,
literally
well,
said something. What the heck?
I didn't even say anything. What the hell?
Then
I
who
have
was
something from here.
that? Then who was that? Was that your neighbor, Rock?
No. But anyway, yeah. To wrap up the movie, that's basically the end. They showed him that he lived the remaining of his life with a
Oh,
condition.
no. The movie ended with him hitting on the girl from like 30 years ago.
Yeah, they bring back
I
and
heard you got
was
divorced.
for her.
Hit me
Yeah.
up. He
Yep.
literally put his phone number on the screen. I was like, weirdo.
Yeah, and then the movie ends. They show him. They show that he got himself a man.
Bro, imagine though. She gets divorced. It's been years, and this dude is famous now, has money, but
He's not even
but,
famous. Let's be honest.
but she still does not. But she's still not like, I'll date you.
No, she's like,
Not,
hell.
everyone, not everyone cares about fame.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
to be honest,
or some people are so, like, how should I say it, like, some people are just meant to be single. There's nothing they can do about it. Even
No,
though
Choose
you can't
to be
help
single.
them. They're
no, and at one part of the movie they showed that he had a girlfriend for a while.
Yeah,
and
but the thing was that she said that he was saying that she was his girlfriend and she just played along, but then she thought that there was something going wrong because he then changed her position from girlfriend to fiance, and she was like, okay, I need to tell him to calm the fuck down.
Yeah,
So she was like,
exactly.
okay, because she just played along, like, you know, like when a little kid goes to a teacher and it's like, teacher, I want to marry you, and teacher is like, okay. Now imagine that little kid grew
What
up.
teacher says okay?
Yeah, bro. What is an energy? This doesn't work, bro.
Like every teacher would be like, no, I'm married, or no, I have a girlfriend.
No,
or,
bro,
no,
if you are
no,
in
I'm not getting
kindergarten, teachers don't care.
married. Oh,
They're
yes. What was happening at your kindergarten? bro?
Okay, but then that kid grows up and he still is like saying that same shit. Then teacher is like, you know what? Stop that shit, kid. That's what happened.
No, you're saying that she basically humored him
Yeah,
into like
yeah.
no, but no. I would disagree because I think that she respected him as an artist at first, so she thought, hey, maybe this guy would be a good boyfriend. And at the beginning, she probably called him a boyfriend, but she even explained that they had, since he was very religious, they had a very chaste relationship.
Yeah.
So they didn't sleep together or anything like that. So Daniel Johnston, despite him being a simp over Laura, it's like he was never like, I want to fuck her so bad. He loved her. It wasn't anything sexual. You know what I mean? He's probably a little bit sexual.
How can you say love for someone he knew for what, like 2-3 weeks?
He knew her for more than that. It wasn't the college. So that's probably like 2 or 3 years.
He loved someone he didn't know. He was obsessed.
He knew her,
He
bro.
was obsessive. You don't
He
know
was
no one. You don't know anybody till you live with them.
My point, what I'm trying to say is
He was
that
obsessed.
when Daniel liked the girl, he was like Ash. He's like, I want to love her. I don't want to just have sex with her. And that's your position, right, Ash?
Yeah.
And it was my position too. When I was looking for a girlfriend, I'm like, I just want somebody to have sex with. No, I wanted to fall in love with somebody, and then the sex came later.
Yes, that's true.
But with Daniel, he never got into the sex part, which I think made him even worse mentally. You know what I mean?
But he never mentioned it, so he probably didn't care.
Yeah, he didn't care about sex. He just wanted someone to love him.
And his parents definitely weren't doing it.
Yeah.
His dad he wanted to kill himself. And his dad was
Because
like,
the
no.
thing was that everywhere, like, people said that they were his friends, but he felt like they never really understood him.
Because all he did was talk about music.
Yeah,
He didn't even talk about
and
music.
whenever and the
You
main
guys forget that he's talking about the devil 24/7.
yeah,
Bro.
and
Why
that
is
was
he
the
talking
problem,
about
because
that?
the thing was that he never really thought that he had a problem, but others around him knew about it, so he felt that they don't accept him. So he didn't feel loved. So that's why his main reason was he wanted to find love in other people, but he could not at the end.
Yeah, it was hard for him to
So,
find.
so it is kind of
something.
sad. Like his life was sad. Like he found love, but they loved him as a musician, but nobody loved him as a person.
Plenty of people loved him as a person. Not his family, but his friend did. That one who became his manager after he got
Yeah,
him out
but
the
he
hospital.
always felt like if he had someone with him for his whole life, that would mean like somebody had
He never
accepted
once
him.
felt that. You're just adding words to your own situation.
No, no, I agree with you, Ash. Okay, I agree with you.
But he not once did he say that in this movie. You're like that guy at the end who was like, Daniel walked up to me and he apologized for firing me and treating me wrong, and he said he'd give me all his money, and now I sell his stuff out of people send me money and I sell his tapes. So it lives forever even though we have the internet. You're just like him. You're making up stuff about he said. Y'all may not appreciate Daniel Johnston like I do,
Okay.
but that doesn't mean you can just put words into his mouth.
No,
The words that come out of his mouth is art. Beautiful lyricist he was. You wouldn't understand. The words that y'all put into his mouth makes no sense. That's how I know you're lying.
I would say from listening to his music, he has a couple of songs which I think have good lyrics. There was one of the songs that says, "Respect love of the heart over lust of the flesh," which is a really good line, I think, in my
Say
opinion.
that one more time.
Respect love of the heart over lust of the flesh.
So he's a virgin, right?
Yeah, basically.
So he doesn't know actually what it's like to experience lust of the flesh.
No, what I'm trying.
Well, I get what you're saying. It's a good
Mhm.
line, but he's not speaking from the heart. He's speaking from the Bible.
He has
His
another
best
good.
music was when he did stuff. He sang about stuff that he experienced himself. That's what spoke to me.
There's also that True Love song also has nice lyrics. True Love will find you in the end. That has nice lyrics. He has a song called Shadow Boxer that I really like, and the song starts like, "I was shadow boxing, but my shadow fell back. Can you imagine my surprise?" He has good lyrics, I think, in
Was
my
he on
opinion.
drugs when he wrote that?
No, it seems very influenced by Bob Dylan, like I said, which they try to put meaningful lyrics in their songs, even though the songs themselves.
I mean, what's meaning? Why would you be surprised if your shadow fought back? Your shadow literally moves when you move.
Bro, shut the fuck up.
If you move your arm, your shadow, like you can't. My hand's behind the camera. I can see my shadow. It moves with me. It fights back. Like it's not a deep line.
No, it's an interesting line. I'm not saying that it has to be the deepest line, okay?
It's not even a good line.
And I also like the in the story of an artist, the song. He's like, listen up and tell a story about an artist growing up. In a part he goes like, "We don't really like what you do. We don't think anyone ever will." That's his family discouraging him. Like lyrics like that, I think they're good. They're good, like deep lyrics. They're not super overly deep, and they're not superly overly pretentious either. You know what I mean? He's
Is
just
this the same family that was crying about him in the movie?
because when it comes to the family, I think that the family at the beginning they didn't really think that his art would go anywhere, and when
So-
then when they saw that it was actually going somewhere and that people respected it and admired it, then maybe they were like, okay, I get it now. Just
Well, let's be honest. It didn't really go anywhere, but it went to a few places, but it didn't pop it off. So what you're saying is that because people were talking about him, they approved of it. So because
No.
he made money off of it, or he was getting fame off of it, his deadbeat dad decided it was okay.
You know that I've heard YouTubers speak about that, or like influencers or like content creators, that they say my family didn't really support me that much, but when they saw that first paycheck, They were like, oh, it's a real job. Okay, cool. Now we'll support you. Like, that's kind of how it is, dude. You know what I mean? As soon as your family, oh, you can make money over that? You're doing great, son. You know what I mean? Uh, so yeah, that happened to him, and that's the whole movie, basically. I really, when I chose this movie, I'm like, okay, these guys are not gonna like it because, like I said, this is outside of music, and most people that I showed Daniel Johnston, they hate him. They hate his voice. They hate his songs. But I instantly gravitated to him because I felt like him. You know what I mean? I when I started playing guitar, I did it because I wanted to express myself through music, and if it's good or bad or whatever, it's not as important as having an outlet to express yourself. And I think Daniel was very pure in that way. And it just so happens that his life story is interesting. Did you guys find the documentary interesting at all?
No.
I found it interesting to an extent, but it was still a documentary.
I mean, documentaries are the biggest lies of the. They're like you got you got fiction, and then you got documentaries. I don't know which one's more one-sided and a bigger lie. Probably documentaries.
I like documentaries in general.
You would.
Now that you mentioned the Nick Cave one, I want to see that one too.
Yeah.
Because Nick Cave is one of those artists that I keep hearing is great, but I never really got.
See, you don't even know music. You talking about you don't
My
know.
dude, my dude,
You don't even listen to Nick Cave.
Nick
Your
Cave,
opinion is gone.
bro.
I'm the music guy now. Listen, I'm the captain now. Okay. Music's my thing here.
Name me a Nick Cave album.
I don't know albums. I know
Okay,
songs.
see,
I've had every single one of his songs because I bought his full list of discography or whatever.
yeah, Nick Cave for me is one of those artists that I keep hearing about. I think I've heard like 3 songs from him and I like them, but I never really explore his music.
Well, Jubilee Street was a big part of the movie. That one will always stick with me. You should listen to it.
Do you watch documentaries in general, Ash?
Yeah, I've seen the crime ones.
Oh, the crime ones.
See
Okay.
the McDonald's one or meat, whatever it was.
I saw the movie, The Founder.
Which one?
The one
Yes.
about I don't know if it's about McDonald's or just meat in general.
Are you talking about the ones that is just about like fast food in general?
Yeah.
Super Size Me?
Yeah.
I saw that one. Yeah, Super Size Me was okay. I like that one.
Did you learn anything from it?
I learned why I already knew that you shouldn't eat fast food all the time. It was interesting to see the business side behind it. And so it was interesting in that movie that Ash was talking about, the McDonald's one. What's it called? The Founder?
Founder, yeah.
Yeah, that movie was interesting too because you kind of see the business mechanics behind it and everything. That was interesting. I like documentaries in general, honestly, and I thought this one was pretty good. So let's wrap it up, I guess, and rate it. What do you guys thought about? How would you rate it?
Let's start with you, Ash.
I don't want to rate it on a movie scale. I'll rate it on a documentary scale.
Documentaries are movies.
Rate it as a documentary, then, as a documentary experience, not a movie experience.
That is a movie.
No, I
Sure.
You see, the problem is you're rigging it so he gets a higher rating just by doing that. We all know it wasn't that good, even for a documentary. I'm just no offense, of course, Rock. No offense.
No, I thought it was good, but it's all right, man. What's your rating?
I'll rate it on a documentary scale. I'll rate it 6 out of 10.
Hey, that's my bro. See, even I say he sees himself in Daniel. He's like, gee, that guy is me.
Yeah, he's fucking stupid. No offense.
No, that's a good rating, Ash.
No, because
I'm proud of you.
documentary,
No, because a documentary is a movie.
He had an interesting life, an interesting journey. Honestly, it was.
He really didn't. He really didn't.
He did.
A
I think.
very normal life. Like the fact
Yeah.
that you think his life was interesting shows how little you do with your own life. Okay. Why don't you pull up Daniel Johnston and go join a circus, carnival, whatever?
Okay, dude. What is your rating? I guess.
Oh, I give it a solid 4. Out of
4 out of
10.
10? Okay. I would
Just-
give it. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So like just for documentary side, it wasn't informative at all. They didn't talk about anything bad he ever did besides drug use, which isn't even bad.
I don't think we saw the same documentary.
I was watching this closer than you were. You've seen this like 7 times, so we know. Look, the dude had a life that wasn't interesting, but a lot of pandering people in his life that said they were like, "You are so talented," and you know what he did with that? Nothing. He wrote the same stuff for his whole life till he died, and that's fine. That's great, but I don't see the passion in that. Not 1 ounce to improve was done.
You know, one of my hopes is that people watch this episode, people who like Daniel Johnston watch this episode, and just watch how ignorant you are. And,
How am
and
I ignorant?
I
I'm basing
dare
this off of a
dream,
movie. I'm basing this
I
off
dare
of a
dream
movie.
they will see this episode and go to the comments and say, that monkey is so wrong.
I'm
Like,
basing this
I never
off
think about so stupid.
I'm only basing this off the movie I watched. It wasn't good. First of all, documentaries in general are terrible.
Oh man, I love them.
You would. We know. You would. Both of you would. You people. Okay? But even this was sloppily done. Like I said, they couldn't even get the dude who so-called attacked him.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Basically,
that dude was not
the
even
movie-
anything.
This whole movie was about telling that girl that he's famous now and to hit him up after she got divorced. Literally.
The
That was the
chaos
whole
is
point of
like
the movie.
one day a random dude like accidentally trips you, and 20 years later he's like, why the fuck did that dude not be there in your documentary? You're fucking shit.
I know, it's so stupid.
You know what's even funnier? No one that was in the carnival except for him. So this is all hearsay.
Okay, dude. I'll give it my rating. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I said 8. I said 8 before you even said that. I was like,
Yeah, you know what? I thought that Ash was gonna give it a 4. I thought that both of you guys would give it a 4, honestly. But
Ash
Ash gave
changed
it.
it, though. Ash did something stupid and was like, I'm giving you this.
Ash
That's the
gets
dumbest
it.
thing I've ever heard, bro.
Ash gets it, alright? You're playing a character like you always play a character, the fucking contrarian cyborg character.
Again,
You-
because I disagree with you, you say
No,
different.
this is just how you are all the time. But Ash knows when to take things seriously and when to joke around.
Nothing
But
in this was serious.
Like I said, for me it's an 8 out of 10, and I still love Daniel Johnston. And obviously he passed away, so rest in peace, Daniel.
Uh,